Okay, I think we're ready to go. We just put away the Lego and raked the sand pit and put away the wooden building blocks, and we're ready to move into the mission zone. This is vk3sl. We're testing here on 160 and on UHF. And to make sense of things, let's have a listen to the new Mayfair Dance Orchestra and a wonderful track. Wait for it. I have to switch the other one off first, so we're not going to miscue this time. Here we go. Here it is. It's the new Mayfair Orchestra from 1928 and Deep Hollow. It's rare for a record from that time to end with a diminuendo. Very interesting arrangement. Carol Gibbons and the New Mayfair Dance Orchestra, actually recorded in March 1929. A recent upload and one of the most interesting records from that period coming from a British band. And it even features Mr. Laurie Payne on the hot fountain pen, which is a weird hybrid instrument, sort of the body of a clarinet and a saxophone mouthpiece. It's sort of strange. And but I was intrigued moreover by the trombone solo, the rolling trombone solo, very Miff-Molian. And that was Lou Davis, I think, on the bone. The Dog and Bone, and we just heard Deep Hollow. This is vk3sl testing on 160 and on the UHF, and we just meander along at this time of the day playing nostalgic music as test material on these airs. That's the way it works, and it fulfills a need. That's
I
my
like
excuse.
cymbal work on that as well.
Yeah, yes, it was effective, wasn't it?
Very.
It was really quite it's called Deep Hollow, but it's a deep arrangement, and had a lot of dimension to it. I've listened to that a couple of times since, and earlier on, and it's one of those recordings you can, it keeps it sort of I don't know, I can connect on different levels. So most interesting, great cymbal work, great arrangement. So
It was a very tight arrangement, wasn't it?
Absolutely it was. Yeah, interesting. Mr. Gibbons, and of course of the Savoy Hotel fame. And so that was most interesting upload. Anyhow, how are you, Frank?
Pretty good, thanks, Steve. Yeah. Bearing up.
Good.
And doing the exercises and getting my son where I can.
Yep.
It was vk3jr.
Yeah.
And otherwise, not a lot to talk about, really.
No, that's right. We sort of we don't have much else to say, really, because it's just the normal.
Keeping in touch with people by phone.
Yes.
A bit. Family,
that's
that
good.
sort of stuff.
Yeah, yep. That's most important, and I've just been for a good walk, but and enjoyed some sunshine. But it has been one of those days where I've been chasing my tail. So it's the problem with online teaching, especially when all the classes are buttressed against each other, is that it's very easy to fall out of schedule, and then it doesn't only takes an hour or so before you're half an hour out of schedule.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I hate being late. So you're sort of having to get later because you're notifying people that you're going to be late. That sort of cycle.
Yeah, sure.
And
once the timetable starts to get away from you, it tends to sort of just get worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's sort of different. Doctor's surgery or something, people can just wait. But when they're sitting on teams waiting to be ushered into the room, it's not quite as straightforward, and people could be doing other things and might be wondering what's happening. So I hate that. But anyhow, we got there in the end, and but with lots of delays, and it meant that what small breaks I was supposed to have, I didn't have. So there's that sort of nervous energy that comes with being treadmilling a bit.
I think my daughter-in-law enjoys teaching from home. She's a secondary teacher, and
right.
She's very relieved, though, that she's finished her parent-teacher.
Yeah, that's very intense. I had an evening of that the other day. It's really intense.
Actually, he was going into the school to do the parent-teacher, not that she could talk to the parents there, but
right.
She had all the records and everything there.
Yeah, it's a good point. I've got some of my records here, but not all of them. And I found it to be a bit of it was slightly challenging. But you get really fatigued doing that sort of, especially online. It's very full on, very intense.
So she's got two kids at home doing their stuff online. So it was a bit of a performance, but
okay. Yeah, anyhow, look, sunny days make a difference, and I don't have to work much tomorrow. I've only got 2 students for the whole day.
Yeah, that's good.
So they've have a scheduled day off for mental health and things like that,
Yeah,
for
that's good.
well-being. So I think that's a very good move. I'm part of the...
For the teachers, it's more than the pupils.
I think so. Yep, so I'm going to be sitting, if it's a nice day, I'm going to be hanging outside for most of the day.
I think it might be warming up a bit, I'm not sure.
Hope so. Yeah, do some good walks and lots of practice. If it's decent weather, I'll practice outside, and I'll go through another box full of 78, so we might have some fresh stock for tomorrow.
Oh, excellent.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
There's still a few crates to sort through, so we'll see what's there.
Have you got Kate's performance for tomorrow night yet?
She's not yet. She's going to record it tomorrow, she said. So
Good.
I'll try and hold her to that. But
I hope she, no pressure, but I hope she does.
I hope so. Yeah, she had to go into work today. It was it wasn't planned, and there was a timetable mix-up. So in earnest, she had to go and get ready, and she came home a short time ago. So yes, she has to do scheduled days on.
Yeah.
That's the way it works for her. But anyhow. Well, what else? What have we got here? On the table, I've found a recording of Harry Roy and the band.
Harry Roy, I remember Harry Roy.
Okay, yeah.
You know, on my old 78s that I got.
Yeah, you probably had one of his parlophones.
Oh, I'm sure I had several.
Yeah, and this is one, and it's a track, it's an intriguing name, it's called Black Minnie's Got the Blues, is the name of the track. So let's have a listen to what Black Minnie is singing about vk3sl and JR.
Harlem is weeping and wailing. They've heard the saddest of news. No one gambles now. They've forgotten how since Black Minnie's got the blues. Hi-de-hi-de-hi-ho, he's got the blues. No more they sing the low-down blues song. There's other songs that they choose. No one all the gin, drinking is a sin. Since Black Minnie's got the blues. Hi-de-hi-de-ho, Minnie's got the blues. Everything is dark in Harlem ever since her man in jail. Oh, she can't even write him letters, and they won't let him out on bail for trial. Devils would like to be angels if all their sins they can lose. Not a soul in town kicks the gong around since Black Minnie's got the blues. Hi-de-hi-de-ho, Minnie's got the blues.
And obviously referencing the Minnie in the Cab Calloway songs.
Minnie the Moocher.
Indeed. So there's quite a few Minnie songs. Minnie's Wedding Day, Minnie the Moocher, and Yeah, I'm not sure who was Minnie a madam or was she a cocaine addict? Well, she's probably both.
I think she's both, yes, and probably several other things.
I think so. Yeah, there's a subtext to these songs and a subject that Mr. Calloway really held
He had
close to his heart.
proprietary rights on many,
I think he did. Indeed, he did. Yeah. So Harry Roy got a bit of a lend there. That was a good record, actually.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, quite like that. I wonder what the other side's like. I'll just bring it over. Let's see. Holding it up, Harry Roy. It's got a crack in it. Yeah. International. Okay, I don't think it's the International.
Possibly not.
Well, we could play it anyhow.
See what happens.
Never know. We could all stand to attention because I think that's right. I could go further, but I will not because we'll hear Harry Roy with vocal refrain and the International version 2. vk3sl and vk3sl.
Started swaying all around. All of London went to town. You will know just what I mean when you've seen Europeans to the International. The International. It gave old Vienna all its pep. Made the Latins want to step. It's the toast of old Madrid. You should see what they did with the International. The International. Rich man, poor man, king and charlatan, how they fall for its charm. Really, it's so cosmopolitan, you're at home in her arms while dancing, and those Americanos who always say there's nothing new, when they want to take a chance on the dance of romance, do the International. The International.
Continental Vibes from Harry Roy and the band. That was all right. They were going to town. They're visiting all of the different nationals. They all got a Guernsey there.
Quite harmless, really.
I thought it was. Very harmless. No politics. No, that was a very, quite non-taining record, I thought. Yeah, Harry Roy on an old parlophone, and we're just sampling 78s direct to air. That's the way we do things here. And there's another one from the same pile. Happens to be one of my very fave Fat Swallow tunes.
Good.
And it's a beautiful song, actually. It's called Us on a Seesaw. And
I'm on a
that's right.
seal.
That's the one. That's the one. I might have even played it recently, but who cares? Deserves
It's
it.
a great song.
It's a beautiful song. Let's have a listen to Mr.
words.
Wally. Yes, they are. Okay, we'll have to stand by while I do a little bit of cartridge manoeuvring here. Faulty contacts.
Here we go.
I'm on a seesaw. You throw me up and you throw me down. I don't know whether I'm here or there. Those dreams that we saw, you built them up and you knocked them down. I don't know whether you even care. I don't care if you don't care, but I do, yes I do. First I was heaven bound, then I found you turned round, and as I hit the ground, you went up and down. That ain't fair, you know that. I'm on a seesaw. You throw me up and you throw me down, and all together you don't play fair.
How about that? Yes, Fats Waller in all his glory.
Did he write that?
I think he did.
I think he did.
It sort of sounds like him, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes. Fats Waller, he just is something so sort of warm and comforting about hearing him just strut his stuff so unpretentiously. He was a wonderful musician, a natural musician, really.
Like to have met him, you know.
Yeah, he would have been great. He would have been full of verve, I reckon.
Yeah, he would. He would.
Yeah,
But,
the women loved
you
him.
felt like you'd meet him and you'd felt you'd known him all your life.
Yeah, that's right. I think he has got a very large number of children.
I think he might have.
Yes, I think that's the story.
A large man, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a very large man, huge, morbidly obese, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that added to his prematurity of
I think it did. Yeah. Yeah. He was a Mr. 5x5 like Jimmy Rushing. Yes, but he had a very contagious smile and a warm disposition, and he was always clowning around and. Yeah, I
just
think
comes through in everything he does, doesn't it?
yeah, sunny disposition with Fats Waller.
Great keyboard player.
Oh yeah, wonderful stride player and just
and organ, of course. course.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Definitely, yes, he was incredible. Way he could cajole the organ into all manner of different sound worlds. He just had the command, but everything's imbued with that humour and verve. Well, there we go, Fatswaller, and I was going through this pile, and I have a feeling that I've played some records from this pile the other day. I've got to do another sort. Tomorrow I'll do this. I'll get rid of all the stuff that's sort of sitting around here and find fresh stock. But because this room is used for a multitude of purposes now, things are getting stacked and stacked upon stacks, and it's getting to that point where it's so dishevelled that I really can't remember what I've played and what I haven't played. But we did have a pile of Hawaiian records. We did play some of them, and there is one here of Felix Mendelssohn and his Hawaiian Serenaders. And I know we did play one or two tracks from this group the other day, but this one I don't think we played, and it's Lady Be Good.
We didn't play that.
Oh, good. I'm pleased I didn't. So it sounds like it'll be a pretty upbeat version. It's a great song, and I don't know who made it famous. Lady Be Good. Is it another Fitzgerald song? Maybe.
Yes, he did a great version.
Okay. And anyhow, this is Mr. Mendelssohn's own interpretation of Lady Be Good. vk3sl and vk3jr. Test missions. Lady Be Good, and we heard Felix Mendelssohn and his Hawaiian Serenaders.
Yeah, that was all right.
That was all right. Had the nice sort of, the hula disposition.
A little bit of a swing there.
Yeah, yes, they did. And something like the slide guitar to sort of let us sort of slide into the evening. And we're sort of moving into the right time of the year for this. I'll have to save up all the Hawaiian 78s for summer missions.
Oh, yes.
I think so. This is anticipation here. We're setting the scene. because we'll probably be doing this for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Anyhow, look, on the other table, we've got the Squadronaires. Do you know anything about the Squadronaires?
I don't.
I don't know anything about the
It was like an army band.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's called, okay, remember the name. What's it called? Deep something. I was going to head over here. Deep Freezing Diner is the name of the song.
Ooh.
So, yeah, this would be late. This would be post-war. I think it would have to be from the early 1950s, even late 40s. But, yeah, let's have a listen to the Squadronaires.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do my cue. There we go. I forgot to engage the turntable. Let's have a listen.
Way down south in Carolina, where the sun would scorch a porcupine and the cooling breeze was never known to blow. There lived a gal, believe it or not, who was twice as cold as the weather was hot. The boiling point was 4 degrees below. The Romeos all passed her by, for her heart was cold as a banker's eyes. To be left alone was quite okay with her. A few of the boys from round about had tried for years to call her out, but no more luck than a crocodile has fur. They call her Deep Freezer Dinah from sunny Carolina. She's the coldest gal in town. She's kept her girlish figure, she really looks nice, but anything is bound to keep if you keep it on ice. She once caused much confusion by giving a transfusion for the patient till it froze to death. She took a trip to Borneo and started quite a fuss. The cannibal shouted, "Take her back, no frozen food for us." Deep Freezer Dinah from sunny Carolina. She's the coldest gal in town. One guy double-crossed her by trying to defrost her, and he nearly burned the building down. She gets a lot of fan mail from the land of ice and snow, but she's become the pin of girl for lonesome Eskimo. Deep Freezer Dinah from sunny Carolina. She's the coldest gal in town.
Some brash trad revival there from
Great lyrics.
Yeah, from the 50s. Yeah, I know.
Tried to double-cross her by trying to defrost her.
I know, it's great. Reminded me of the, that 20s song, Hard-Hearted Hannah.
Oh, yeah, from the Vamp of Savannah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I got to look it up. Hard-Hearted Hannah. There's got to be a version of this somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's another great song. Yeah.
The Hard-Hearted Hannah, the Vamp of Savannah.
Yeah, that's it.
Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, that's it. Now, here's a recording with Margaret Young, who used to sing a lot of saucy songs in that period. And I think this would be pretty close to the original. And I have a feeling I've got this record on my shelf somewhere, and it suddenly just brought it back to me. I'm going to play this because it's an acoustic record. It goes way back, but listen to the words. They're just wonderful. And I think it just follows on really nicely from what we've just heard. So this is Margaret Young, who, I don't know much about her. She made quite a lot of records in the early 1920s, and I don't know what she did thereafter. Maybe I can find out and fill in the gaps. But let's hear her now, 1924, Margaret Young. vk3sl and vk3j.
talk a southern friend. But here's what I don't understand. They've got a gal there, a pretty gal there, who's colder than an Arctic storm. She's got a heart just like a stone. Even Iceman let her alone. They call her hard-hearted Hannah, the vamp of Savannah, the meanest gal in town. Leather is tough, but Hannah's heart is tougher. She's a gal that loves to see 'em suffer, to tease 'em and thrill 'em, torture and kill 'em. That's her delight, they say. I saw her at the seashore with a great big pan. There was Hannah pouring water on a drowning man. Hard-hearted Hannah, the vamp of Savannah, G.A. The meanest gal in town. Talk of your cold, refrigerating mamas. Brother, she's a polar bear's pajamas. To tease 'em and thrill 'em, torture and kill 'em. That's her delight, they say. An evening spent with Hannah sitting on your knees is like traveling through Alaska in your BVD. Hard-hearted Hannah, the vamp of Savannah, G.A. She's so cold you get pneumonia from her breath. She kissed an Eskimo and he was almost froze to death. Hard-hearted Hannah, the vamp of Savannah, G.A.
There you go, Margaret Young, back in 1924.
Very good.
Isn't she wonderful? I've got a few of her Brunswicks here. They're deep somewhere in one of those back shelves. I will dig them up because she's a force to be reckoned with. Wonderful stuff.
Got some more of her, yes?
Yeah, I'll have to, in time I'll find some because it's prompted me. She was quite progressive and she was out there singing this sort of, lyrics which, probably challenged the sensibilities of the time.
Raised a few eyebrows, no
I
doubt.
think they would have, yeah. But I'm just reading here that she was born in 1891, so she's sort of an earlier generation, and she made a lot of records in the early 20s, but then sort of went into retirement by the late 20s but resurfaced in 1949 as an older person and recorded for Capitol. Now, I'd love to find those recordings.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something I'll have to look into. We'll find out about Margaret Young, what she did in her later years. But it doesn't give us much more information other than that she was her career was sort of centred around Detroit, and she was very involved with vaudeville. But you can tell her stage voice there. She's got a real
Yeah. Very vaudeville, isn't it?
It is.
Which is the sort of American equivalent of the British Music Hall.
It certainly is. That's right. So yeah, she's got the vernacular and the delivery and the personality. So Margaret Young, I'm pleased we've given her a Guernsey, and it just happened serendipitously.
Good discovery.
It's great. Yeah, I love that song. There's a lot of different versions. In fact, a lot of trad bands sort of really they do that song. You hear it played all over the place. But it's a fab song, and great refrigerating mamas and all of that. Yeah. Anyhow, social progressiveness from the 1920s. Now, I've got another one of these world transcription records here, Frank, and what I might do is, before I put this one away, I want to appease our country and western fans out there and our hillbilly,
Oh, yes.
hillbillyites. Now, I don't want to upset anybody. I've got to play to everybody, and I also have to find the wavelength myself because I don't want to be too attitudinal about any of this stuff because it's all music. And so here we have a recording of Mr. Curly Coldigan and his Circle Boys. This is the group we heard the other day.
Yes.
And another track from that same record, and it's called, what's it called? Just a Little Lovin', and it's a bright country foxtrot. So let's see.
A rip.
On the table.
Just a little loving will go a long way. It will make me happy the rest of my days. Put your arms around me, I'll be your slave. 'Cause just a little loving will go a long way. Now ever since the time began, love has ruled the world. Even Adam set the pace and started it a whirl. I met you and now I know that you're the one for me. Come on back and you will plainly see that just a little loving will go a long way. It will make me happy the rest of my days. Put your arms around me, I'll be your slave. 'Cause just a little loving will go a long way. Just a little loving will go a long way. It will make me happy the rest of my days. Oh, put your arms around me, I'll be your slave. 'Cause just a little loving will go a long way.
There we go. That was, hello, something else is playing. It shouldn't be. Let me just, there we go. That's all right. All set. And yeah, we just heard Curly Coldigan and his Circle Boys. And yeah, that gets the country stamp, do you think?
Oh, definitely.
Now, we'll go through those Burl Ives records and run them by you. I'll have a look tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell me which of Burl's records will airworthy. I'm sure they all are.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we'll might do a bit of a Burl Ives segment. I wasn't aware that he was into folk as well as country music.
Oh, very much so. As I say, the concert that I went to as a kid was all, or virtually all folk.
Wow! Oh, that's great.
Him playing the guitar and singing folk songs.
Oh, marvellous. All right, well, we'll have to investigate further. I just put, this is where prejudice can get in the way. I put him in a pigeonhole, and Mr. Burl,
get him out.
I will, certainly will. So yeah, we'll discover Burl Ives in good course as well. But there's a whole collection of them here. There'd have to be 20 of them. And
Oh, really?
yeah, there's someone was a Burl Ives collector. Yeah, they're all on
Burl
London.
Ives Festival.
Yeah, we could. We could have an Ives festival. We could have a Burl Ives and a Charles Ives festival.
I'm not sure. I think you might have trouble attracting the same people to both of them.
We could try. Well, that's the sort of thing we do here. It's all sort of one thing morphs by non-structured means. It's just by just by association, even if it's just in the name.
I haven't fully signed up to the Charles one myself. I don't know much about him, really.
Yeah, well, he's American, and he was very nationalistic. He had a particular American sound, but it was quite a bizarre American sound.
Yeah, I did hear this wonderful talk. I think I mentioned on MBS by this lady Donna Coleman.
Oh yeah,
American woman who lives in Australia, lives in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she was totally enamoured, and you know, it was most interesting.
Okay. Yes, look, there are people who are obsessed with Charles Ives. He was a very individual thinker and really had his own aesthetic. He didn't sort of piggyback on any other established tradition, really.
He made his own rules, didn't he?
He certainly did. And he had a very sort of quite an incredible sort of worldview. So it was about philosophy, and it was about music, and it was about lifestyle, it was about all sorts of things. So we can flesh that subject out. Now I'm hoping on Friday night I may lose all the listeners, but we just have, even if it's a short segment on Anton Webern, because I've been listening a bit. I think I mentioned this last night. And
looking forward, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting music, and I haven't appreciated it in the past. I was sort of pushed it off to the side as being serialist, sort of non-accessible stuff. But there is something I find quite magnetic. I just find myself just drawn into this interesting world, because he sort of successfully uses the phrases and the orchestral textures and the sound, the sort of the sound world, but imbues it with a different harmonic language, and it's very, very focused, very intense music. But look, it's certainly worth having a listen to. So we'll put together a couple of Anton Webern excerpts tomorrow night.
Very good.
Tomorrow, isn't it? Yes, another Friday. Friday's just...
They come around so fast.
They do. Roll on. Okay, well, what I'll have... I'm going to have to go in fairly soon because I'm on dinner duty tonight. We're doing tacos. And hello to Mr. Frank O.P., who's walking his pooch at the moment, and he's listening on the handheld while walking the dog.
Hey, Frank.
So he sends his best wishes to you, Frank. So, all in good. Now, Mr. OP and Mr. W both recommend very strongly Rodrigo and Gabriela. We played one of their tracks, Mexican Guitar Duo. And I didn't know anything about this group, but they are just incredible. It's another one of these amazing, dual double acts where two people just transcend what the instrument can do and just create a whole range of different colours and styles. And by all accounts, this group is incredibly diverse. They put out an album called Area 52, and we played a track last night, but this one is from the album. It's called 1111. So let's have a listen to Rodrigo and Gabriela, two Mexican guitarists, and they have to be heard to be believed. expansive Latin sounds of Rodrigo and Gabriella
Very good.
from the album Area 52.
Yeah, gee.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are. They remind me of Paco Peña. They've got that sort of wonderful, complex array of textures and Latin sounds and expansiveness, and it's great music.
It is.
Yeah, so we'll look into that album, play a few more tracks over the next little while. So thanks for that, fellas. Now, since Mr. OP may still be listening, this is something especially for him, because I've been holding off till he got back from his trip, and I was going through some LPs, and I found the original soundtrack from the story of Star Wars.
Yes.
And this is the radio version of the film. So it's just two sides of a 12-inch LP, but it came out at the same time, and we've got it's one of those fold-out records, and it even has a booklet inside, and in the booklet, pictures from the film, and on the last page, it is just blank except for 6 words. Guess what they are?
May the force be with you.
Yes, that's right. In bold capitals on the last page, that's all it says. It says everything. So, yeah, we've got the album here, and it says produced by George Lucas and Alan Livingston, and the narration is by Roscoe Lee Brown, and it's adapted by E. Jack Kaplan and Cheryl Gard Warnson. What else can I tell you? These might be anecdotes interesting for Mr. OP, I know, who's a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, I might play this instead of a Thunderbirds. We'll have a Thunderbirds break tonight, and we'll let this...
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I've got to go now.
Sure. Okay, well, fine. And we'll look forward to catching up soon, and have a very pleasant evening, Frank. Thank you.
And you, and thank you.
Yeah.
Talk tomorrow night.
Yes, indeed. Look forward to it very much. All right. Thank you.
vk3sl clear.
Okay.
vk3sl.
Yes, cheers. And what we'll do is we'll follow on with Star Wars from the album. And this, I have not listened to this for a very long time, but I might put it through the processor, just so we get a really good, clean. I'm not sure what condition it's in, but hopefully it'll be all right. So there we have it, folks. That'll be it for me for a while. I might come back with just a comment or two at the very end, but for the next 45 minutes or so, let's listen to the story of Star Wars from the LP, vk3sl.
It is a day to be long remembered, a day of hope for peace and justice throughout the galaxy.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
You've been listening to the radio adaptation of the Star Wars story. It's from a 12-inch LP. And I'm pleased to have at last found an opportunity to play that. So we'll probably go back to our usual thing tomorrow night, maybe. We'll see how we go. And to clear the air after all that Star Wars-ness, let's just have a little bit of Little Eva to finish today. vk3sl, catch you soon.